All right. Hello, everybody. I'm here joined with the team from Embed Elite, the winners of the Community Favorite Award for the Semantic Kernel Plugins Hackathon. Do you all want to quickly introduce yourselves?
Christoph. So I have a finance background. Initially, I worked 5 years in the financial industry, but alongside that, I used to code for like 10 years in all the verticals around and built some solutions in the e-commerce industry so far.
Yeah, so something really quick about me. So I'm Mike, the CTO at Embed Elite. Yeah, my background is mainly on machine learning, deep learning. I come from robotics, automotive. I've done a couple of projects with big OEMs, Ford, names like that, delivering, autonomous driving, those kind of technologies to their factories. And you, Lukas?
Yeah, my name is Lukas. I have also an IT background, so I've been developing more than 11 years professionally software. Consider me a full stack developer, going from TypeScript in the front-end world to Java, Python, and Rust in the backend side. We all together worked on the hackathon project. And we appreciate that we won the community prize.
For the listeners, could you give a brief overview of what you built and what problem it seeks to solve?
Our plugin that we submitted is called the Embed Elite plugin. So if you use Semantic Kernel and you want to retrieve context for specific domains, let's say legal or taxes, healthcare or finance, you usually have the challenge that you need to gather a lot of data for your specific domain. You need to pre-process it. Maybe you want to store it in a vector database or in a traditional database. And then you would figure out how to add this data to your context in your semantic kernel application so that you can feed it into your LLM. And that tedious process takes a lot of time, it's a lot of effort. So we thought, hey, why isn't there some kind of a central place to go, like a marketplace, where you just can get for specific domains ready-made, curated premium solutions, call them Retrieval-Augmented Generation solutions or embeddings, and you just plug them in, and you can skip all this process and focus on your actual use case that you built on top of semantic kernel. And it's a marketplace, so you can also provide data or embeddings, meaning imagine you build something with semantic kernel for your specific use case, and you think, that could be something that other people might need as well. You could just become a data provider, create your own embedding or RAG product on Embed Elite, and others can just retrieve this context using our API. And you would get paid for that because consumers pay a little fee per request or per query, and the vendor or the provider gets paid by that. And so it creates incentives for all sides. The consumers save time and money, and the providers can find a new revenue stream. And all of this, together with semantic kernel, can be just integrated in enterprise applications where you really need high quality and reliability.
That's very cool. I think this whole idea about making your data applications more intelligent or AI applications more intelligent with data is actually super important, right? We all know that these large language models have effectively ingested the entire internet, but it's a snapshot of the internet, right? And any new data any data that's behind a firewall or whatever that's not publicly available, right? That's not going to be encoded inside the weights of these models. So being able to query, maybe using embeddings or whatnot, the most relevant data and doing this retrieval-augmented generation with the large language model is super important, certainly in my view. And it's super exciting to see this sort of marketplace that you're building with Embed Elite for that. One question though that I have is, can you talk about the plugin model that we try to encourage with this hackathon, and how you all view it, how that fits into building an AI application?
We believe that, or we see that many enterprises will benefit from it. So whether it's using the native functions, which allows you, as we understand, to integrate into your own databases, maybe your internal database in your company, or maybe third-party services like Embed Elite or others, of course. And then you have this semantic functions where you can also, I think it would be really helpful to create functionality that is really specific within your enterprise. There is a nice example on your GitHub where you show how you can make reliable calculations with this orchestrator. And yeah, everyone looking into this kind of problems, for example, how to solve maybe logical questions using an LLM, where you basically work with probabilities, that could be something, yeah, really, really useful for bigger companies.
And maybe on top of that, as we deal with a lot of data, right, we know how sensitive data is for corporates. And we know that like Microsoft has the trust for the corporates that many other like ventures and tech companies don't have. And we see really a like large advantage of hosting the solution there, right? We know it's the go-to place for large enterprises. Yeah.
It's encouraging to see, because it's both not really a new concept, but at least for AI, it's recent, this use of plugins. And, you know, it's encouraging to see you all tinker with it, right? Experiment with it, and to build something on top of it. Thank you for doing that. I guess one follow-up question to this is, what is something, as you are building this, or even, you know, as you're considering building future AI applications, like what are some concerns or even things that you think people should be aware of as they're embarking on using plugins as a architecture for AI apps?
It's really hard to answer that, but something that I think is in the core of Embed Elite is that this is like a new way of building a different kind of application. And I think what we realize is that a lot of parts of these applications are more or less like repeated in every application, in every copilot. These systems that you have to have in place to make sure the format is correct, that you are not hallucinating, that you have the right context, et cetera, are generic systems that will be repeated over and over in different applications. So it's important to understand that there are people like us trying to build these kind of solutions that you can plug and play and start using. Yeah, and using those tools could save significantly time when you're building an application like this.
Very good, very good. Well, as we wrap up here, is there something that you can maybe tease the listeners for in terms of what they can expect from Embed Elite going forward?
Embed Elite has the main purpose to reduce your efforts and your time if you want to build maybe an MVP, but also if you want to create a production-ready LLM application. I mean, since we have now a Semantic Kernel plugin, I think it's an easy step to just start playing around with Semantic Kernel, use the plugin of Embed Elite, maybe pull one of our embeddings or RAG solutions there. For example, in the hackathon, we use the VAT EU rules. So if you want to do something in the text direction, you can easily try it out. Maybe if you want to go to legal or other fields, we have also some products on the website or in the marketplace. I would say that, yeah, just stay tuned. I think following the Semantic Kernel community, as well as the Embed Elite, and in general, the whole field of embeddings, RAG, context retrieval field is, yeah, something I would recommend, or would we recommend to yeah, anyone out there who wants to build domain-specific solutions. So going a step farther than just a little chat tool, but solving actual real problems. And yeah, I think that's what we could recommend. So in general, start playing around. Everyone is in 0.0. So that's also what we learned, talking with many people in the field. Every week there are new papers coming out, new findings in the research. So sticking to knowledge leaders and the community is something you should do if you start with it. And of course, just build and enjoy the ride, try new things.
Yeah, have fun. I mean, it's a completely new thing. So it's really exciting to help shape how things will look in the future. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, with that, again, thank you all for participating in the hackathon, and excited to have you as part of the Semantic Kernel community.